But first, Roger begins with, to my mind, an awful, awful film, Richard Burton in The Wild Geese.
Giving away my secrets, Gene.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, excuse me for saying Going Coconuts was the worst movie on this program. I almost forgot about The Wild Geese, which is an embarrassment to both the acting profession and the great tradition of the action film. The Wild Geese is a would-be thriller about a mercenary soldier who recruits a small army and parachutes into Africa to rescue a kidnapped black politician. Now, Richard Burton is the mercenary, and I think in this case mercenary is the right word because it's pretty obvious Burton only did this picture for the money. Here he is leading his troops into a compound where the African politician is being held prisoner.
Hello? Sit still, right where you are. Don't move. No sudden noise. We'd like those keys, you see. So, whoever has them, just hand them over.
Miss Procedure, search this fellow first. Try the cube. I'll take the outside. Mr. Limbani, I'm Faulkner. Just lie there. Come on, Peter, quickly.
Great band of mercenary senior citizens there. You might have noticed it was kind of hard to cast this movie. It's not easy finding 50 guys who look so much out of condition they can be led into battle by Richard Burton. Anyway, Burton has brought along two old sidekicks for the caper, Roger Moore and Richard Harris, and they all get together for an emergency session at the airport after they discover they've been double-crossed and there's not going to be any airplane for their getaway.
How do we get out of here?
Where do we go? Within the hour, we're going to have the whole of them up as bloody army down us like a ton of bricks.
What do you suggest we do? Surrender?
Me surrender? You must be joking.
Rafer, we've got 10 minutes. You're the planner.
Alan, I've got something to say to you. I'll give it to you emotionally first, and then rationally if I have to. This man, Matheson?
Right.
Well, he gave us the biggest double cross of all time. Now, my feeling is to give it back to him.
Yes, me too, but that's for some other time.
No, it's for now. We came to get Limbani. We've got him. I say we use him. We show him to his tribesmen. They think he's been reincarnated. They're about ready for a civil war anyway. Maybe we can start it. God knows, maybe we can even win it.
Halt. Right there. Now, you listen to me, Rafer. I've got 50 good men down there, and their lives are my responsibility. I'm not on any bloody crusade. I don't want to do battle with you, Rafer, at least not now. So just get on with it and get us out of here.
All right. Then I'll give it to you rationally. The North is out of the question.
Why? What if we got hold of the ferry to Burundi?
I wouldn't cross that lake in a destroyer. Indofus planes would pick us up like ducks. They wouldn't let us into Burundi anyway, nor Rwanda. Zambia's too far, and east, 600 miles of jungle, totally impossible.
Well, that still leaves the south.
Exactly. South. Limbani country. Now, I know it well. There's a dried river there and an old stone bridge. If we cross that bridge, we're on our way to Kalima.
Well, what's in Kalima?
Limbani was born there. I think it can work, Alan.
Rafer.
Oh, for God's sake, it's the one chance we have of accomplishing something from this whole mess.
I love that old ploy, you know, listen, chaps, I know this old bridge, it has a river underneath it, water used to run under it at one time. This is really a dumb movie. It's hard to really start out by saying what's worse about The Wild Geese. As an action movie, it's completely unbelievable. As a statement on African politics, it's beneath contempt. They cheapen every idea they discuss. Stay away from this movie.
It also cheapens the idea of the great British actor. You know, ever since we're kids, we're raised with this notion that British actors only do plays and movies for the art's sake, never for money. Well, here they're just as cheap as American actors, just as crass.
Especially Burton. I mean,
Yeah.
who has made worse pictures in the last 5 years? If you think of The Exodus Part 2, The Medusa Touch.
Hammersmith Without.
Yeah. X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Exorcist Part 2, you already mentioned that.
I mentioned that. Blackbeard. I mean,
Assassination of Trotsky.
he's got a really wretched record. It's time for him to turn it around.
Just terrible. Well, now we come on to something a little bit more serious. Roger and I thought that The Wild Geese, with Richard Burton as a mercenary, was one of the worst films of the year. That's why there's a no next to both of our names. We didn't like it. We don't recommend you see it.